Bada bing, bada bam.
Welcome to this week's Bacon a Mystery, Bacon a Murder episode. This is the fourth and final part to The Fourth Wing, written by Rebecca Yarros. The fourth part to The Fourth Wing. Listen, if you haven't read the book yet, if you haven't read the series yet, I don't know what you're doing. But if you have and you've listened to the first three parts and you want a refresher, here we go. I'm going to recap this so simple and sweet for you because things are finally developing. Like, we got to get into the craziness that is this ending. I feel like this book, for the first 400 pages, I was walking. The view was nice, but I was getting a little distracted. I'd be looking at my phone. I was going on TikTok, and then I'd go back to the view, and then I'd be walking a little bit more. It was a leisurely stroll, right? The last part of this book was a full-blown marathon sprint. I felt like my heart was going to beat out of my chest. Like, what happened? The pacing just switched up on me. 400 pages. I'm like, we're doing the same thing. We're in class again. We're in school again. We're going to lunch again. And then all of a sudden, it goes down. So in part 1, 2, 3, we cover our main girl, Violet's journey to becoming a dragon writer. She joins the military academy where her mother is the headmaster there, but she's also one of the most powerful generals of the military in Navarre, which is their kingdom. Which, side note, they are actively at war right now. And they need more dragon riders. They need to get good at dragon riding ASAP so that they can defend against the evil kingdom of Promiel, who is out there to invade and probably try to take their dragons. Those fuckers. I mean, I will say, there are some slightly puzzling parts of this book where I feel like that looks like a pothole that I'm gonna fall into. Okay, I don't know why it's not clicking in my brain. Maybe you can let me know in the comments. But I feel like I'm lacking neural pathways. Like the fact that a kingdom is at war, a devastating war, and yet these dragon riders in training, the most valuable fighters in this said war, are just allowed to kill each other willy-nilly. Like you could eat someone else's bagel for breakfast and you'd get murdered.
Does the opponent have dragons?
They have griffins.
What is that?
Griffins, those eagle-lion combinations, but they can't fly that high and they're not as big as dragons. It doesn't seem like they're as powerful.
So what's so hard about just send 2 dragons over.
Just send 2 dragons by griffins.
Yeah.
Because griffins are attached to Gryffindor. No, I'm just kidding. But regardless, Violet bonds with 2 dragons. Tyrn, one of the 2 black dragons in the kingdom and one of the most powerful dragons. And Andarna, a golden feather-tailed dragon that can stop time. Except nobody knows that. Only Violet and Zaden, her enemy / main love interest, knows this. That's it. Zaden wants to kill her because her mother was responsible for his rebel leader dad's execution, but he can't kill her anymore because Violet's dragon is basically forking Zaden's dragon. Meaning if Violet dies, her dragon Tyrn's gonna die, and if Tyrn dies, Sorrengail, his girlfriend dragon, might die, and then Zaden would die because his dragon is Sorrengail. They're tethered to each other, okay? The great general's daughter, Violet Sorrengail, and the rebel leader's son, Zaden Ryerson, are tied in a knot. A lot of people hate this fact, such as Violet's mom and Dane, Violet's childhood best friend, original love interest, but he also is a man with no spice, a man with no seasoning. He likes to follow the rules. He's like a fucking accountant, okay? Anyway, Violet's brother is dead. Zaden's whole family is dead, and they're just in college. With all these people dead, trying to learn how to ride dragons and fight in combat. We left off at the last part with Dane, Violet's former love interest and supposed best friend, just being an all-around ick. He never believes Violet when she tells him that Amber, one of his close friends, tried to kill her. He doesn't believe that she has what it takes to be a dragon rider, and even though she is one of the most powerful dragons that chose her, not anybody else, but her. He overall, I will say he's insufferably annoying. I thought it was going to be a love triangle. It was not. I don't know where the triangle part was because I was never rooting for Dane at any point in this, right?
Is he going to make a comeback or he's just going to be annoying the whole time?
No, he's going to get worse. He's going to enter his villain era.
What?
Well, he has a signet power because remember, this is the power that every dragon rider gets channeled from their dragon. Some powers are more valuable than others. Some are more rare and more powerful than others. He's got a power where he can recall and extract people's memories when he touches them on the face. And he just touched Violet's face without her consent on her cheeks to get her memories. Remember? And then she tried to flip out because, the whole Amber thing happened. Anyway, he doesn't touch her face about the Amber thing. But now the two have been awkward since he tried to unconsensually touch her face. You get it, right?
Wait, so did he touch her face or no?
No, until they were awkward for weeks. He meets her in the stairwell and she's on her way to class and he apologizes. And what does this man do? He lovingly caresses his best friend's fucking cheek. And what does our girl Violet do? She's all like, oh my God, my best friend Dane is fine again. Like, we're back to normal. Bitch, what do you mean?
Wait, so he knows everything now?
We don't know what he knows. But he's gotten some memories from her. He's extracted some memories. I mean, it could be that Violet saw Zaden meet up with 2 other rebel kids in the woods in secret, which is a death penalty if 3 or more of the rebel kids meet up by themselves without anybody else. It's considered treason. Violet's dragon secretly, very briefly, stopped time for Violet to save her life. And Violet and Zaden made out and basically did the worm dance on each other's bodies against the brick wall of the school building in the middle of the night. So I don't know which of these memories he took, if all of them, right? But it's bad. And now that's where we've left off. One thing I will say about this book is every page, every line, every sentence, every word, murder is a lingering. However, none shall get murdered. I don't know what it is. I don't know. There's murder everywhere. It's like always a threat of murder. And then I'm expecting everybody to die. And then nobody dies. And then maybe sometimes one person dies. And I go, oh, that's it? Like I'm some sort of serial killer. I'm telling you, it's weird. Okay, anyway, but it's about to get real. Because Jack Barlo, Violet's enemy, wants to fucking kill her. I know. We're gonna go somewhere this time. We're going somewhere. There's a destination this time, okay? So anyway. He decides he's going to kill her because he's a bully and she's a Sorrengail with silver hair, which is very bothersome for him for some reason. He's irrationally homicidal when it comes to Violet, which is why he personally requests that Violet be his combat opponent for one of the sparring rounds. In these rounds, you can kill your opponent. The idea being that if you can get killed by another student, you're going to get killed in war. Might as well die now so that you're not risking other people's lives on the war grounds. That's the theory. So Violet, though, she's a smarty patootie. While Jack Barlo has been seething with rage, like you can see the fumes and the steam come out of his head, the top of his head. Every time he passes her, it's almost like he growls in her direction like a stray dog. Yeah, she's been studying him though, and she's been cooking. Well, she's been juicing. Jack Barlo, big boy, scary man, is allergic to orange juice.
Okay.
Yeah, the man's allergic to orange juice. So right before their little sparring match, Violet bottles up some orange juice, fresh orange juice, and right at the last moment, right before he's about to go in for the kill, she splashes it over his face.
You can't be serious right now.
And pries his mouth open to pour orange juice down his esophagus. That is so interesting to me. Because Violet is all about not being a killer, right? Even though Zaden's nickname for her is Violence, she is committed to not killing people. Like she has taken the medical oath or something. However, I believe the sight of a girl straddling a dude on the sparring mat, forcing his jaw pried open to pour orange juice, something that he is pretty allergic to, down his esophagus, that is scarier than just like straight up killing him, in my opinion. Like that is terrifying. Violet wins the match, but she doesn't just like walk off the mat a winner. Of course not. She's wrecked. Yeah, she got wrecked in that. She's carried to the healing quadrant because the whole process of that match, I mean, trying to get him a fruity IV drip was very difficult. When she wakes up, Zaden is sitting in the corner of the room, running his hands through his hair like the hot enemy that he is that never really ever tried to kill her. He doesn't even look like he's slept in days. She turns her head. Fucking oranges, Violet? Is he dead? A part of Zaden is impressed. Violence turns oranges into lethal weapons. Not lethal if he's not dead. Besides, it kept me alive. I did what I had to do. And on top of that, there's nothing that you could have done. If you stepped in, all it would have done is make me look weak and put an even bigger target on my back. Zaden has to admit, Violence is right, but at the same time, he's also gonna not take any more chances. Every decision Violet makes, like I said, is tethered to his own life, and seeing that nobody warned him in advance that Jack Barlo was going after Violet, he decides he can't trust Liam or anybody else anymore. He's gonna be in charge of the sparring training, hands on the mat, the two of their sweaty bodies humping each other. And Violet's like, I'm not dead, and there's no reason to be this freaked out unless that kiss scared you or something, unless it made you feel something. It was a mistake, and it's not happening again, and we're not discussing it further. Well, what if I want to discuss it further? Then discuss it with the wall. I don't have to be a part of the conversation. I'm drawing the line here, Violet. Violet knows the kiss was probably a mistake, and them acting like it never happened is probably for the best, considering their dragons are mated and can't spend more than I don't know how many days apart from each other. But it's still kind of painful to hear for some reason. Zaden is just rejecting her. So the next month kind of flies by in a blur. Same thing is happening. Zaden's on top of her in the mat. Violet's signet power hasn't come out yet, which is making her nervous because it is yet another threat to her existence. If her powers that she channels from her dragon do not manifest soon, she's gonna burn out. AKA the powers in her body have no outlet and it's gonna kill her. Every day she feels the dragon tattoo on her back getting hotter and hotter, and it's about to burn through her clothes. It has been 3 months. All the other writers have their powers, so where the hell is hers? And even if you get your powers, it does not guarantee that you're gonna live. Sometimes the powers are so strong that you die, or you accidentally misuse them. Like that one kid. He got into ice wielding. That was his power. Fucking froze himself in a buddy to death.
So the time pausing, isn't that one of the powers?
No, because remember, she's not allowed to tell anybody about it. It's only while the dragons are babies. They give you their power, but you could suck them dry and they could die.
Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
so that's not really a power. Anyway, Zaden is walking her to another flight lesson when, oh shit, they run into Dane's dad, Colonel Atos, and of course, Violet's mom. The woman who killed Zaden's dad, right there in the flesh. I mean, she could have the power of ice wielding at this point because everything is frozen and very cold. Mom. Violet's mom looks her up and down like she's a strange girl just saying hi to her randomly in the hallways and not, her youngest offspring. I hear you have not gained your powers yet. It's been months, and this is the first thing that she says to her daughter, and she knows that there is clear imminent death around the corner because that's what it says on every page. So what do you mean? What do you mean? That's what you have to say to your daughter? Tyrn, your black dragon is one of the most powerful ones to be bonded this year. It'd be a shame if your powers don't manifest soon and strong. All that magic would just be wasted. Yes, General. And the gold one? We're all so curious to know what you'll get from the golden dragon. Violet smiles, but she can hear Tyrn telepathically telling her, do not speak of it. AKA, the fact that the golden one and Darna can stop time, right? Yeah, no. No, nothing from the golden one. Dane's dad asks if they can study Andarna since feathertails are such a rare and secretive species of dragons that almost never interact with humans. But Violet just makes an excuse on why they can't and tries to move on as fast as possible. But of course, they can't just walk away because Violet's mom's eyes, if you can believe it, get even colder and she turns to Zaden. Glad to see that you're alive, Cadet Sorrengail, even if the company you choose to be around is more than questionable. What? Zaden speaks up. I believe that we resolved those questions years ago. General. Violet's mom stares at him and turns. Do see that you manifest some power soon, Cadet Sorrengail. You do have a legacy to live up to. And with that, she walks off.
Why is she so mean, though? She doesn't like the daughter? Or she...
She's just kind of a bitch. I don't know what to say, you know what I mean? I don't know what to say. And with that, she walks off, and Violet finally lets her shoulders slump. It is always draining to see her mom, and even more awkward now that Zaden witnessed it. And instead of feeling angry that he just ran into his father's killer, he almost seems compassionate that that's Violet's mom and that's how they interact. I was closer to my dad. My mom knows that Mira, my sister, and obviously Brennan are much stronger and better than me, so I'm not really worth her time or worth her spending her emotions and hopes on, I guess. She must not really know you then. Wait, what were you saying about the questions being resolved, though, with my mom? Just that I paid the price for what my father did. What price? Wait, why would you have to pay a price if that was your dad? Boundaries, Violence, boundaries. The school year is almost over.
Did you get summer break?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Yeah. Meaning, guess what it's time for?
Another,
the War Games.
Another death match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A series of challenges that lets the writers be able to think strategically and quick on their feet. There's rounds of combat. They have to do the gauntlet climbing course again. And also strategy, war strategy. Commander Penchek gathers everyone on the field. As you can see, your squad leaders and wing leaders are being held captive. To free them, Squad mates, your objective is very clear. Acquire the most advantageous thing for our enemies. The stipulations and rules being, it must be found within the walls of Basquiath. And 2, not a stipulation, but rather a recommendation. Do not haul a dragon here. They will incinerate you out of sheer annoyance. You have 3 hours. Begin.
What are they doing?
So it's a game.
Uh-huh.
Their squad leaders have been kidnapped by the enemy. They need to bring the enemy, aka the professors, something that is very useful.
Whatever.
Like a trade, a hostage ransom trade.
The most valuable thing.
Yes, and whoever brings the most valuable thing is going to be the winner, which you would think would be the opposite, because would you really want to be trading in the most valuable information for a fucking hostage?
Oh, information.
Yeah, or whatever, valuable something. Could be a weapon, could be a poison. Violet and her squad, which consists of her new bodyguard / rebel kid Liam, Rhiannon, her best friend, Rydick, her other bestie, Sawyer, her other bestie, Imogen, the pink-haired girl that broke her arm but is suddenly nice to her because it seems like she knows if Violet dies, Zaden dies, and Violet has a sneaking suspicion that Imogen has got a crush on Zaden, which, yeah, it does fucking bother her, okay? Snap out of it. Violet has to focus on winning. Her squad is a mix of rebel kids and everybody else, including one girl who just hates rebel kids for no reason other than the fact that their parents did something. So there's that. They're all arguing on the best thing that they can get to win this when, wait, I know what will guarantee a win. I mean, it's crazy, but what? Violet, just tell us. In times of war, knowledge is the biggest advantage, is it not? Well, I know where they hold the best, most valuable knowledge locked away. We just have to break in to my mother's office.
What?
So they break into General Sorrengail's office using a mixture of their powers. One of them can also astral project, so it's a bit of a cheat code here, right? But they use a mixture of their powers minus Violet, who obviously does not need to be reminded once more that she doesn't have powers yet. They break into the office, steal a giant 20-foot, most up-to-date current map of all the outposts of the Navarian forces. And when they get back to the field, each squad has to go up and present their bargaining chip. Dane is already pissed off at them because they were the last squad to show up, which is weakness. But when they get up there, it takes like 5 people to unroll the giant map. Imogen pushes Violet to the front. Your idea, you get to present. We have the most up-to-date map of all the outposts of the Navarian wings. This is the most valuable knowledge there will be. Locations of all of our troops and all of our weaponry. Professor Carey speaks up from the side. And how do we believe that this is the most up-to-date current map? Because we stole it from General Sorrengail's office. And all hell breaks loose. Okay, professors are rushing to the stage to get the map down because, you know, they can't just be showing this confidential classified information to everybody. Violet doesn't know if that's a sign that they won or if it's a sign that they're in trouble. But she does see Zaden in the crowd through the chaos, and he's standing there, and he looks in awe of her. He tips his head in a dramatic bow and tips an imaginary hat at her. And Violet feels...
What?
Violet feels like she's already won!
Disgusting!
Now, side note, they do win. And their grand prize is a visit to a military post. For like a week. Yeah. They get to hang out with a bunch of real writers that are stationed there just to get a gauge of how their lives are going to be after graduating, I guess, right? Switch it up. It's just a massive fortress. The whole squad gets to go, including Dane. So this is not the whole wing. Zaden's not there. It's just the squad. And the squad leader, okay, Dane really does not know if he hates Violet or if he loves her. He's hot one second, he's cold. It's a lot. And the squad's getting introduced to all of the writers on the base when Violet freezes. She knows that voice from anywhere. Mira? Her sister! Her only sibling that is still alive because, you know, Brennan is dead. Thanks to Zaden's dad, really. They haven't seen each other. She hasn't seen Mira since the day that she was forced to walk across the Bridge of Death to get into the Writer's Quadrant, and now she's seeing her sister. So a few things happen on this trip. Mira helps Rhiannon and Violet break the rules, sneak out, fly to Rhiannon's hometown, which is about an hour away. This is breaking practically every single fucking code on the Codex Book of Laws. But when you're a dragon rider, you could die any minute. And Rhiannon's sister just gave birth. So she just wants a chance to see her nephew, just in case. Anyways, Mira also gives Violet her dad's book about folk tales and fables back, the one that her dad would read to her as a child, the one that Violet tried to ask the scribe library for a copy of, and they've never heard of it, which was very bizarre considering the library has every single copy and original of every book made, unless it's forbidden or rare, which this is a children's book of fables and folklore. I mean, it's neither of those things. But Violet's just glad that Mira kept it and gave it back to her because it reminds her of her dad, who's also dead. So there's that. Oh, and Mira warns Violet about Zaden, how their dragons are mated, but Zaden is graduating this year. Like, what does that mean for Violet? Is she going to have to go with him wherever he goes because their dragons need to see each other? She's going to have to miss her own training, her own time to develop her and harness her own powers for Zaden. Have you ever been stationed with riders who have mated dragons? Sure. Why? I mean, I guess I'm just trying to get a gauge of how long they can be apart. And they almost shit themselves when a voice from the shadows emerges. Turns out it's about 3 days. It's Zaden.
What the?
Who came with Sorrengail because Sorrengail needed to hang out with Tyrn.
What is this?
Yeah, so the squad is now joined by their wing leader Zaden, and Dane looks incredibly pissed off all morning. Even at breakfast, he won't stop glaring. Mira notices and tries to break up the awkwardness by giving the whole squad a lesson on strategy. Placement of dragons, placement of riders is life or death. It's war. It's about how you place the riders that determines the outcome if they win or lose. Each rider needs to be utilized for their strengths and brought into the field at the exact time that they're needed. So they start doing these exercises of a pretend attack. Who's stationed where? Who's flying and where? And Violet is deep in thought when another voice, not her dragons, not even Sorrengail, which is Zaden's dragon. They can all telepathically talk to each other, remember? But another voice, Zaden's voice, pops into her mind. Violet whips around to face him in front of everyone, and her mouth is hung open. And he tells her mind, stop staring. People will notice what's going on. Violet doesn't even know how to talk to his brain. Her frontal lobe is barely developed right now. Thank you very much. How? The way we talk to our dragons. We're all linked in perpetuity. This is what they would normally call a perk. Violet has to force herself to look away. Meanwhile, Dane is giving Zaden the death glare the entire time. Why are you here? I mean, no offense, wing leader. It's just that, are you sure your dragons couldn't last more than 3 days? Like, did you really wait to test it, or did you just show up? Mira shuts them all up, and once her little strategy game is over, she demands to see Violet, Zaden, and Dane in the hall now. She's pissed. She whips around at Dane. I get it. I get that you're pissed that their dragons are mated, but you need to get over it, or else your chances of becoming a wing leader are going to be blown. You don't get it, Mira. He is the worst thing that could have ever happened to Violet. You don't think I agree with that? But their dragons are mated. It is up to their dragons and not them. This wasn't Violet's choice, so figure your shit out because you're messing with your whole squad right now. They can feel it. If I can feel it in 4 days of you being here, your squad can fucking feel it. Now get back to your squad leader. Once Dane is gone, she whips around at Zaden. And you. This is what you're going to be doing all next year? Using your mated dragons as an excuse to distract my sister? Wait, Mira, that's not... You, Violet. Think long and hard right now. How well do you even know him? You think the worst thing he can do is kill you? There are other ways to take away your life without killing you. Preventing you from reaching your potential, that would be one of them. There are... And then Mira goes silent. And Tyrn's voice rings in Violet's head. Griffins. The creatures that attack. A whole pack of them are flying towards the outpost right now. The words, the protection spells, the words are down again. Mira grabs Violet's shoulders and pushes her into Zaden's arms. Go now. Hurry. No, we can help, Mira. No. Go now. If you stay, I'm going to have to worry about you. If you love me, go so I can just focus. I can't afford to get distracted right now. Violet is refusing to leave, but Mira turns to Zaden, and Zaden tells her, I'm the best weapon you have, Mira, regardless of if you trust me. You want me to trust you, Zaden? Get my sister out of here right now. Zaden thinks for a split second, picks Violet up like a log of wood. She's fighting with all her strength, but this man is a tank. Violet, I'm sorry, but you have to go with Zaden. I need you to live. I can't be an only sibling. Please hurry. Violet's a mess. She's refusing to leave, but this time Zaden and Dane are both on the same side. Stop, my sister needs me. She needs me. Stop, let me go.
Does she not know what she can do?
Yeah, does she not know that she's like completely, utterly useless right now? Yeah. The only reason Violet agrees to go back to Basquiat is because they reason with her. Think of everybody here. If they stay, they will all die. Zaden and I will probably survive, okay? Maybe you will too if Mira protects you. But everybody else here, your friends, Rhiannon, Sawyer, Rydick, Liam, what do you think their chances are against the Griffins? Huh? It's not about you right now. Do you want their death on your hands? And with that, all of them rush up to the roof. Their dragons are flying in one by one, and everybody leaves. Just Violet and Zaden are left waiting because Tyrion isn't there yet. Oh. But for some reason, Violet's using this time begging Zaden to let her stay. Everybody else is gone. Please, please.
What about Zaden's dragon?
It's on the way.
Oh, why are they so slow?
I think they were doing it. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I have no idea what they were doing, okay? So he looks at her with so much compassion and he's wiping the tears from her cheeks and he kisses her. It's this all-consuming kiss and he only breaks it when Tyrion flies in and Violet realizes that he was just distracting her, stalling her. He lifts her arms up and she knows Tyrion is going to pick her up. She can't stay with her sister. She's going to be forced to leave.
The dude kissed her to distract her?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's the only way you can distract someone.
And she's like, I will hate you for this. Please let me stay. And he says, I can live with that. And with that, she's picked up and flown back to school. When she looks down, she sees the Griffins flying in. Back at school, nobody is telling Violet if Mira is alive or not. Who survived or not, she can't sleep, she can't eat. And even then, Mira's words are haunting her about Zaden wanting to ruin her by stomping out her potential. She's slumped in the hallway waiting for one of the professors to answer their door so she can ask about Mira. And Zaden is there with her. Is that your plan? To kill me without killing me? No. Why not? Why would you decide not to kill me all of a sudden? Could be when I saw Oren holding a knife to your throat in your room and the feeling that I had of wanting to rewind time so that I could kill them all over again, slowly this time. Or when I realized that I can't stop thinking about doing more than just kissing you.
Ah, dude, what is going on?
Violet doesn't really know what to say to that. This man is giving her a lot of mixed signals right now, but she does learn to break his shields and start talking to him in his mind too, which is a great weapon to annoy the fuck out of Zaden if she so chooses. Now, that day, they find out that Mira has survived. All the riders have survived. Violet rushes into the field where Endarna, her golden dragon, meets her. And once they confirm that they are both alone, Violet breaks down and sobs in her arms. She's alive, she's alive. The next day, Violet tries to get to know Zaden since her sister said she literally knows nothing about this man. Do you have any siblings? No. Favorite food? Chocolate cake. How do you know Liam? We were fostered together. What's with all these questions? I barely know you. You know me well enough, Violet. Lots of flirting, but more death games commence, okay? You ever play flag tag? Where you have a flag and you gotta protect the flag.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah.
No, what's it called? Don't say fine.
Oh, yeah, you protect the flag, yeah.
That's the game?
You're trying to snatch each other's flags, right?
Yes. Flag football. No.
We get it, yeah.
Yeah, you get it, okay? But this is even crazier because each wing gets a flag that they have to protect from all the other teams. But for some reason, Squad 1, they get a dragon egg, a golden dragon egg that they have to protect at all costs. So you have to keep your flag safe while trying to grab this golden egg before all the other squads do. It's very suspenseful since it's all going to be done on the back of dragons. Which, side note, Zaden has a custom-made, cool-looking saddle made for Tyrion so that Violet doesn't fall off. Tyrion has been using his magic to keep her mounted, remember? But now she can strap in like a fucking car seat. Yeah, super cool, super sweet of Zaden, but also low-key embarrassing. And she's all, but everyone will know that I'm not worthy of Tyrion, that I can't even stay seated. But Tyrion and Zaden is like, everybody already knows. Okay, so get the fuck in the baby seat. They start flying around trying to guard their flag, but they also find out where the damn egg is. So they need to get as high as they can. And that is when Violet tells Tyrion, right there, all the squad ones, they're circling around this mountain on that side. It has to be there. They're huddling to protect the egg. She telepathically tells Zaden that the egg is there. But when she looks up, Liam, her rebel bodyguard, right-hand man to Zaden, is already in battle with an orange scorpion tail. Bade, Jack's dragon. Tyrion, we have to go help. They're going as fast as possible, but they're downward. So they're actually flying down to get to them, right? And as they approach, it's too late. Jack climbs off his dragon onto Day, which is Liam's dragon, grabs his sword and slices into Liam's side, sending Liam flying off the dragon to his death. And Violet is like, no, Tyrion, no, we gotta go, hurry, catch him. Tyrion is laser focused. They're going as quickly as possible. Violet is assessing the scene. She sees Rhiannon flying towards Liam, but even Rhiannon is too strong. Everybody's flying as fast as they fucking can.
Oh, I know what's going on.
But they can't. Nobody's gonna make it in time. Andarna, please. Do it. Do it. Focus on you and Tyrion and nothing else. Do it now. Violet closes her eyes, channels Andarna's powers, and stops time. They catch Liam. Got him. Andarna, are you okay? So remember, Andarna can be killed if her rider uses too much of their power.
Yeah.
I'm safe. But she sounds weak. They settle Liam down on the field where all the healers come to surround him and all their friends are surrounding, and Violet sees red. She looks up and Jack is standing on the top of the mountain gloating with a sadistic smile, and she feels tingling in her whole body. Climb, Tyrion, climb. They start flying faster and faster, and Violet feels power through her chest as if she's laser focused on Jack. She can see this guy fucking laughing after he tried to kill Liam. He could have killed Liam. We don't know. There's Liam's blood on his sword. Faster, Tyrion, hurry. Tyrion is charging, and Violet can't focus on anything. She sees Zaden come up, but she can't feel anything but the power surging through her veins, and she feels like the sky. The power of every storm that has ever been ignited is in her, and she feels infinite. And then she lets out a scream, channeling all of that energy through her body, and a strike of lightning and thunder crack the sky, hits the mountain, and it explodes.
She is Thor?
She's Thor.
Ah! Really?
Yeah.
She's Thor.
It hits the mountain, and Tyrion has to U-turn immediately to shield from the blast. Jack falls down the mountainside in an avalanche of stone that even his dragon cannot save him from. He will not survive. The confirmation is in Bade. The orange scorpion tail screams, while Tyrion roars. It's a roar of pride. And he says, lightning wielder. So when they land, Violet is a mess. She was so angry earlier when the power was surging through her, but now she knows that she just killed someone, the first person that she has ever. Tell me that Liam is alive. Tyrion tells her he survived. He will survive because of you. No, thank you, Andarna. I know how much it cost you. Worth it. Oh God, Violet feels Tyrion's wings shield her from the others because he knows he can feel it, and she starts throwing up everywhere. You did what you had to do, Silver One. You saved your friend. Yeah, Violet, I'm so proud you're mine.
Silver One?
That's what Tyrion calls her because her hair is silver.
Oh.
And when Tyrion's wings open, Dane is there. Was that you, Violet? Yeah. I don't think we've had a lightning wielder in more than like a century. Are you? I killed Jack, and I killed him. It's okay. Dane pulls her into her hug, and she's about to start sobbing. Like, she knows everybody's staring at her after this, but she can't stop herself.
This is Dane?
Yeah.
Dane's be touching her again.
Yeah, and he kisses her on the top of the forehead like he's comforting a sad little puppy, and Zaden's voice is pissed. Get the fuck off of her. He rips Dane's arms off and grabs Violet's shoulders. You killed Jack Barlo. Lightning. Your signet power is lightning. Yes. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. Listen to me. The world is a better place without Jack in it. We both know that. You saved countless others from him. He was nothing more than a bully, and he would have grown worse with the more power that he channeled, and he would have killed more, and I am glad that you killed him. I didn't mean to. I was just so mad that he tried to kill Liam, and I had to do something. Everything you did was to keep Liam alive. I don't want this. I don't want any of this. Mira can extend protection wards. Brennan used to be able to mend people. Everybody has a signet for good, and I'm just a fucking weapon. Dane walks over to her. You don't have to use your power, Violet. Stop fucking coddling her. She is not a child. She is a grown woman, a writer. Start treating her like one. No, fuck you, Zaden. You just want her to be just like you. Soon you're going to tell her it's okay. You're going to get used to killing. You might as well even enjoy it. He whips around to Dane. The blood in my veins is as warm as it is in yours. Nobody ever gets used to killing. But you do understand that it is necessary. This isn't primary school. This is war. The ugly truth is there are always body bags in war. Violet, your power will save lives. By killing people? by defeating invading armies before they can decimate civilians. You own this, Violet. You train. You will have the power to defend the entire kingdom if you so please. Rhiannon. Yes? Get her back to the Citadel, now. And with Rhiannon, Violet gets rushed away from the crowd that are all staring at her. Lightning wielder.
Was it a big deal or something?
Yeah, it's a big deal. And so what Zaden's doing is Dane was coddling her like a baby and making her look weak, even though she has this insane power. Yeah. So what Zaden's doing is just not making her look weak in front of everybody.
Like, what's the big deal about this thunder power?
I think small elements are impressive, like fire, ice, but I think to control the skies. So Mira is known to be very powerful. She can control the protection wards. She's like a protector. She can mend the protection wards. Okay. And then Zaden can actually control shadow. He can turn everything into shadow. Even when it's broad daylight, he can make it pitch black. Oh. So when you're controlling the environment, I think it's different. Oh. And then I believe Violet's mom, if I'm not mistaken, is a storm wielder. So she can create storms. So these are very rare and just very powerful.
Storm versus thunder?
Lightning and thunder.
Oh, they sound very similar.
Yeah, I think she can like make it rain. I don't know. So that night, Zaden slips into Violet's room to check in on her. And she's kind of a mess, okay? She's basically in a see-through nightgown because I also have mental breakdowns, but I look banging hot when I do it. I'm definitely not in like a greasy t-shirt that's covered in just food particles that is stinky and not washed. No, I also just wear agent provocateur when I'm having a mental breakdown. That's what she's fucking wearing, okay? She's a killer. Who cares? You know that? She's like describing it. It's described in the book. She's wearing like this very thin, flimsy nightgown, having a mental breakdown. And I'm like, bitch, be so fucking for real right now. So anyways, she's a killer. Who cares what she's wearing? At least it's not orange. Get it? Orange, because orange is the prison color, but also Jack Barlo is allergic to oranges. That was a BOGO joke. You're welcome. She's throwing a dagger at her target practice, which is a piece of wood. Why are you here? Are you here to say that you can train me, save me? Violet, I have no clue how to train a lightning wielder. And from the looks of it, I don't think you need any saving. Yeah, well, maybe I do. Why else are you here then? Because I can't stay away from you. Are you doing okay? I had this hope that my power would be mending like Brennan, and I could heal people and I could fix them and I could bring things back to the way they were. But instead, I break things and I'm made to kill. And how many people am I going to end up killing with this? That is up to you, Violet. I mean, you are still you. You still have agency, you know? So whatever you do to get over this, you need to do it. Scream at me. Hit me if you need. I can take it. Don't let them see you like this. Violet whips around and glares at him, but hitting him is the last thing she wants to do. Instead, she gets up on her tippy little toes and makes out with him. And that night, they be doing it. I mean, really doing it, like real nasty. Rebecca Yarros made us wait 500 pages for it, and then she cooked and delivered a nasty ass plate. Okay, nasty in a good way. Nasty in a really good way. Lots of tongue in places you didn't think that they could be tongue. You better not be reading this in public transit.
So are you going to tell us or no?
Just a few quotes. Like, you better not be reading this on public transit. Like, it's that kind of smut. Like, it's going to get us demonetized type of smut. A brief quote. A hungry assault, his tongue sliding against mine. I rock my body against his hand for more. A desire pounding through me like a drum beat. Stop being so fucking honorable and fuck me, Zaden. These are actually the more PG-13 parts. Yeah. Every time they do it, Violet wields lightning, just lighting her curtains on fire, creating thunderstorms outside for the entire school, trashing the entire room. Me. No, for real.
The school is in thunder right now?
Yeah, it's like just nonstop thunderstorm, and everyone is like, is that a coinky dink or what's going on? Is that a coinky dink or is it a coinky kink?
Wait, do people know?
I don't know. Even afterwards, they're laying in bed and she's circling her fingers around his rebellion relic and she slides it to the silver scars on his back. What happened? How many markings are there? 107. Violet freezes. 107 rebel kits. That's what Liam told her there were. What happened? I took a deal. What kind of deal makes scars like this? The kind where I'm personally responsible for all the rebel kids. If a single one of them rebel against Navarre, I die. What? In return, instead of executing 107 children, we all get to join the Riders Quadrant so that they can kill us in other ways. But at least we have a chance of surviving this place, even if it is an absolute hell. That's why. That's why all the rebel kids are willing to die for Zaden, because he will die for them. He made the deal. I'm so sorry, Zaden. You have nothing to apologize for. Stay tonight. I shouldn't. People will talk. Let them. Stay. Don't make me ask again. The next morning, Violet wakes up. Zaden, of course, is gone, but left on the table is a vase of spring violets.
One more time, what?
Left on the table is a vase of spring violets, flowers. Violets.
Oh.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, fuck. She is so screwed. I mean, literally last night, she was falling so hard for this man. The next morning, she's perpetually exhausted, thinking about forking Zaden again. She's training with Professor Carr. She can make lightning strike in a general area. Like, if a target is as big as a mountain, she can hit it. But that's it. Otherwise, her aim is ass. Then Zaden comes over to help clean up her room, and everything is kind of toasted since she was lighting everything on fire last night. And two things are discovered during this little spring cleaning session. He tells her that he went to Athebene? I don't know. The night that he saved her life. But he was all dressed up with a sword. He burst into the room and she was like, where the fuck were you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't know. Athebene is like a outside the ward outpost military station. Weird. 2, while they're cleaning, they realize the binding to the folktale children's book that her dad gave her, the one that Mira recently gave back to her, is broken. And when they pick it up, out comes a handwritten letter. It reads, Dear Violet, by the time you find this, you'll most likely be in the scribe quadrant. Remember that folklore is passed from one generation to the next to teach us about our past. If we lose it, we lose the links to our past. It only takes one desperate generation to change history or even erase it. I know you'll make the right choice when the time comes. You have always been the best of both your mother and me. Love, Dad. Very cryptic. And why was it hidden in the book, in the spine of the book? This book is about like a powerful new group of people who wanted magic so bad, but you can only power magic through magical creatures like dragons and even griffins. It's not as strong as dragons, but griffins can channel power to their riders, right? It's just weird. And in the book, there are people who want that power, but no dragon wants them. So they tap into the dark magic of the earth, of the land, and they turn into people that are called Venin. They're basically monsters. They even created their own flock of fake dragons, man-made dragons that are powered by their power, Venin, instead of the other way around. It's all sick and twisted and a very powerful message to children that wanting too much power is corruption. It's never good and it never ends well. Do you think your father was trying to tell you something? I'm not sure. I mean, the book is about how power corrupts. Maybe he was trying to say that leadership is corrupt. I wouldn't be surprised if General Melgren ripped off his mask one day and revealed that he's a Venin. He's so creepy. Well, let's hope that's not the case. And 3, they're about to do it again, but Violet refuses unless Zaden admits that he is also falling for her. Because she can admit that she's falling for him, but he, being a big boy with a big bad dragon, he refuses for like the next fucking month. He will flirt with her. He will tease her in class. He will talk to her, talk dirty to her in the cafeteria, and nothing. He refuses to admit it to the point where Violet is going insane. She even wonders, is this fucker seeing somebody else? Is there somebody else involved? Like Imogen, the pink-haired girl?
He's being a fuckboy.
Yeah, she's wondering. There are a few weeks left until graduation, and meaning Zaden is going to graduate. This is a whole other can of worms. There's a lot going on, especially because the king is going to be throwing a party at the college for Reunification Day celebration. All the top generals will be in attendance, and of course, Violet has to show up. She chooses a black high-neck sleeveless with a thigh-high slit skirt dress, and every time she takes a step, it flings open, showing off her newly toned legs. Violet joins Rhiannon, Rydick, and Sawyer, and surprisingly, Liam is there, which is weird, because typically none of the rebel kids celebrate this day if they don't have to. It's the day that their parents were killed, you know? And at the party, Violet can see everybody gawking at Liam and his relic tattoo, like he's marked, like he's dirty. Violet pointedly loops her arm around his and gives him a reassuring squeeze. I'm so sorry. You have nothing to be sorry about, Violet. You can go. I mean, you shouldn't. This is so... I mean, they're celebrating his parents' execution right now, and here he is. I go where you go, Violet. It's just not fair to you. I mean, I highly doubt that Zaden's so... It's not Zaden that made me come. I made a promise that I would watch over you, so here I am. Besides, I highly doubt that you like celebrating your brother's death anniversary as well, but here you are. Brennan would have hated this, truly. He was more about getting work done than celebrating, and it's just all so... Yeah, that sounds like... An incoming King Tory with General Sorrengail and General Melgren on each side. Violet and Liam both bow as the king approaches. King Tory approaches. Your mother tells me that you are the cadet that bonded with 2 dragons this year, Violet? Thank you, King. I am still learning how to wield, though. My daughter is ever modest, Your Majesty. From what her professors say, they have only seen this powerful of a gift a few times in recent decades. Our Brennan and that Ryerson boy. King Tory turns to Liam. And your power? Farsight, Your Majesty. And you were Colonel Mariri's son? Yes, sir, but I was mostly brought up by the Duke Lindell of Riviane. Ah, yes, good man, that Duke. Yes, sir, I have him to thank for my fortitude, Your Majesty. Yes, you do. Now tell me, where is that Ryerson boy? We always need to make sure he's not stepping out of line, don't we? Of course, he's doing fine. Violet's mom stares at her. He's our wing leader. He saved me when we were in the front lines of Montserrat. King Tory and General Melgren are quiet before Violet's mom tries to explain. Their dragons are mated, so they have grown quite close, out of pure necessity, of course. Well, excellent. It is very good to have a Sorrengail be our eyes and ears. You do let us know if he decides to, commit treason and start another war. They all laugh, a fake, threatening, tense laugh. I can assure you he's loyal. Then where is he? I asked all the marked ones to attend tonight. Oh, I just saw him earlier. I would check the quiet areas. He's not much of a partier. They say their goodbyes and they walk off before Liam and Violet decide to sneak off too. They run into Dane on their way out, who strokes Violet's cheek. You look beautiful tonight, V.
Again? What's wrong with this dude?
I don't know.
Violet lets him do that?
Yeah. She's dumb in this part.
So he's secretly just getting all the information.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Thank you. You look wonderful too, Dane. Dane smiles and drops his hand. He helps Violet and Liam escape the night without Violet's mom noticing. And it's nice. It feels like things are slowly going back to normal, but Violet doesn't even have time or space to think about that right now because she is so focused on finding Zaden. She doesn't see him anywhere at the party, which means she needs to go find her man. She runs into Bodhi and Garrick in the courtyard, and she glances at the bridge of death. Tell me he's not there right now. Trust us, you're not going to want to see him tonight. We're his best friends. We don't even want to be around him. It's not the day. I'm his, She ignores them because she doesn't know what she is to him, okay? She ignores
his baby girl.
I'm his baby girl and I'm lost, okay? She ignores him. She runs out onto the parapet, the bridge, which is just a balls to the walls move. She ends up finding him in the center, just sitting there, pondering his life. And she's out there walking the bridge on a skirt, about to die. Zaden can wield shadows and save himself. What can she do, huh? Strike herself with lightning so she won't feel the pain of going down? But she can't even do that because her aim is ass. Her aim is as bad as a worm trying to play pickleball. Violet gets out there and Zaden jumps up. He's in overprotection mode, but he's also pissed. What the hell are you doing? I know that you don't think that we have a future together, but you're just scared. And I'm scared too, Zaden. And we're probably setting ourselves up to break our own hearts, but we can't let fear control us. We can't let it eat away at whatever this is that we have going on. You don't mean any of that. I do. I mean all of it. If this is about you thinking that I have another girl and it's going to break your heart, Imogen, you thought? No, it's not that. What even made you think that I had something with Imogen? I mean, the way that she was watching you and Garrick sparring, you might not be interested in her, but she's very interested in you. It's very clear. You're jealous. Yeah, maybe I am. She's strong. She's fierce. She has that same ruthlessness that never quits that you do, and you guys just make the most sense. Violet, you are the smartest person I've ever met. That mind of yours, and you're strong and fierce, and you can be ruthless. You just choose not to be. Besides, Imogen is not interested in me. She was watching Garrick spar, but even if she had interest, I wouldn't know, because I've only ever been looking at you. Okay, they're gonna start falling in love now. Are you sure that this is what you want to do, Zaden? Yes, I don't want to fight it anymore. And he caresses her cheek. Wait, what do you mean that you also have jealous feelings? I saw Dane kissing you after threshing, and I nearly killed him right then and there. Even at threshing, before our dragons were, I wanted you from the second I laid eyes on you, Violence. And eventually, Zaden gets him off the bridge of death because dying right now after a conversation like that would be a bit of a buzzkill. Zaden tries to tell her that she needs to just give him space that night because he's not going to be helpful in any department because he knows it's selfish. It's also the anniversary of Brennan's death. He gets it, but he just needs to be alone, okay? But Violet is like, trust me. She leads him back to his room and gives him the Gluck Gluck 9000.
Shut the front door. Really?
Yeah, no, really. Like
Straight up?
They be doing it. I don't think she gives him the Gluck Gluck. He gives her the Gluck Gluck.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's all, Violet, I don't deserve you, but I'm going to keep you. And I'm going to fork you. And they end up doing it in his room. She blows out his window literally with lightning, and he blows out her back. It's kind of a fair trade. I just love a good literary masterpiece like this. Like, truly, this is my Shakespeare. Smut. Anyway, at one point she tells him that she loves him, and it's this huge moment until there's a pounding on the door. A pounding, not a knock, a pounding. And Zaden screams, get the fuck out of here. I wish I could. I really do. If someone's not dead, Garrick, I don't want to fucking hear it. Handle it. There's a brief silence, and Garrick says in a very exhausted voice, a lot of people are about to be dead. They're calling for a full formation right now. Grab your fight leathers. Violet, you too. We're all under attack. Violet throws on Zaden's jacket and runs outside on formation. Half the people just woke up. They're in pajamas. The other half are still in their party uniforms, meaning they were also getting their back blown out, okay? Violet, yeah, I know, it's a lot going on. Rhiannon runs over to Violet. Whoa, really? The wing leader? What? No, your jacket. Violet's confused, but Rhiannon points to her jacket where there's only one star for being a first year, and Violet looks down, and on her arm, there's 3 stars. Could be any of the third years. Oh yeah, with a 4th wing shield on the back. There are a few third years in our wing, aren't there? With the wing leader emblem on the other side? Okay, fine. Yeah, I fucking knew it. Was it good? I broke his window. You threw something at it? Was that good? You threw something at his window? Lightning.
Lightning to the thunder.
Is that Katy Perry?
Something like that.
So Violet gets distracted watching Zaden up there trying to talk to Commander Panchek. He just looks so utterly calm, and he tells her through her mind, fucking war games. It's not real. They're not under attack. It's a game.
What?
It's a war game. Yeah. This is so fucking stupid. But also, people are gonna die during the war games too. Yeah, I don't know. This book is a lot. Dane's dad is there. It's the last game before graduation. He turns to Dane, smiles, and then drops all sense of emotion and turns to Zaden. And there is just something about the way that he's looking at him that is utterly terrifying. Ryerson, you will have your headquarters at Athabine. Wait, what? Violet is so confused. Athabine is a base that's outside of the protection wards, which sure, it's the fucking war games, but why would they send a group of students into an area that cannot be protected because the protection wards aren't there? Secure the outpost for the next 5 days. Violet's so confused, but Zaden doesn't say anything out loud or in their heads. So she just has to do what Dane tells her to do, which is go and grab their stuff. They've got 30 minutes. Go. The only message that Zaden sends her is once she's in her room, he's instructing her to wear every single dagger that she owns. Violet rushes out onto the field with Rhiannon, who's in an alarmingly cheery mood. We're gonna win this round. Violet smiles. Rhiannon is totally gonna be a squad leader next year. Dane is already stick shoved so deep into his rectum that it's tickling his internal organs. Second squad, prepare for flight. Tight formations until I give command. Is that clear? Violet nods, but Dane is looking beyond her, past her. Zaden's walking up. Wing leader, do you need something? Zaden ignores the shit out of him and turns to Violet. I need you. Excuse me, wing leader. She's part of second squad. Dane, it's okay. I'm sure he just wants to say goodbye. Violet, you'll be saying goodbye to Dane. I'm gonna need Violet, Liam, and Imogen to head with me to the headquarters. What? She's a fucking first year wing leader. If you haven't noticed, or if you don't give a fuck, your headquarters is beyond the wards. Violet wields lightning. Never mind the fact that our dragons need to be with each other. Oh, fuck this, honestly. You keep using that as some big fucking excuse, and you know what? You know that she is safer with me. You can't take her out beyond the wards. You're being selfish. Do you want her to die? It is an order, Atos. I'm not asking you. I'm asking Violet. Dane is practically red. He's spitting. How do you even know that your dragons are tethered? Huh? Just because she bonded with Tyrion, how do you know that Tyrion is going to die if Violet dies? I don't think it matters, Atos. You know that she's safer with me, even if it's outside these wards, than she is with you. What have you ever done to actually protect her? They both look like they're about to fucking go at it, and Violet puts her hands up. Stop! Zaden, if you want me to go, I'll go. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Him? Him? People were whispering, but I thought they were all disgusting rumors. Don't go, Violet. Please, he's gonna get you killed. I can trust him, Dane. I really do. Dane looks from pissed to sad to acceptance. He just stares at Violet and whispers, I'm gonna miss you. I really will. And he walks off. Zaden walks off in the other direction, and the choice is really Violet's. And of course, she chooses Zaden. They take off, and something about it, the flight, while they're headed, it's just not sitting right with Violet. Something feels really off about this whole thing. To make matters worse, outside the wards, magic is wilder. It's like there's a wrongness in the air.
Oh, I know.
They fly through the night, and in the morning, they make a rest stop in a small coastal town. Tyrion and Andarna are both there, which Violet is worried about Andarna, but she can't really tell her what to do. She might be a baby dragon, but she's still a dragon. Violet and Zaden get a little quiet moment off in the woods, and she just wants to jump his bones. Like, she wants to do him. Been up all night, not a wink of sleep, and she's thinking about that. She's thinking about the other dragon. Yeah. And they're basically doing it in front of the whole group. And Zaden tells her it's okay. He will trust every single one of them with his life.
Wait, what do you mean?
The group that they're with.
They're doing it?
Well, they're not doing it, but they're making it very obvious that they're together, which is, not very smart with other people. When we get to base, you have to rest. Tyrion is too powerful. You need to rest to wield your full strength. Otherwise, you could burn out. They're making out when suddenly Zaden's whole body tenses up. Not in a sexy way. What's wrong? I'm so sorry, Violet. What? He turns around and there's a woman standing there. She's hot, but she also looks so fucking wicked. Dragon riders are such messy things, aren't you? Zaden tries to shield Violet with shadows, but it's too late. You think we didn't see? We all saw. And if we're correct, there's only one cadet with silver hair. General Sorrengail's youngest child. Zaden tells Violet telepathically to stay calm, but how is she going to stay calm? She can see the Griffins landing. These are Griffin riders.
How big are griffins? Do you know?
Maybe like half the size of her dragon, but they're pretty big.
Oh, they're giant.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Oh.
Violet tells Tyrion to hurry up and come. A Sorrengail, huh? Violet can feel her anger pulse through her, and she's charging her lightning, basically about to strike this woman down. Or maybe a pack of trees, because her aim is really bad. We don't know yet, okay? But then arms wrap around her. What are you doing? Zaden is hugging her. Zaden is staring at her. If there is a moment, any moment for you to trust me, Violet, I'm so sorry. Please be now. Then Zaden passes her, arms to her side so that she cannot wield lightning, to Liam, who's holding her down. What the fuck is going on? I'm so sorry, Violet. Liam is apologizing. Everybody's staring at her. Nobody's freaking out. Nobody's taking out their daggers. Nobody's wielding their strengths.
Oh.
Why is everyone fucking apologizing to her? Let me go. Let me go right now. I'm so sorry. I really wish I could. Tyrion roars and Liam drops his arms. She runs to Zaden just in time to hear him tell the woman, "You're fucking early." And at that moment, everything stops in Violet because she believes he's a traitor. He is a traitor. She keeps listening. He's mentioning bringing them a shipment of something. He's supplying them with something. And the woman fills Zaden in. We lost a whole village to a horde of Venin 2 days ago. They destroyed everything. Violet's like, what the fuck? Venin are magical creatures. They're basically dabbling in evil magic, but they're folk tales. That's like me being like, the SpongeBob came and he killed some people. Like, what are you saying right now? They're not real. It is a lesson to teach everybody that power hungry is bad, but they're talking about it like it's very much real. Violet asks Tyrion if he's getting all of this. Yes. The woman continues. The horde of Venin are heading north, straight towards Athabine. Are you armed? Yes. Then our job is done. You've been warned. Now we have to go do our job, defend our people. The riders, the Griffin riders, mind you, they take off. And before they do, some of them stay. And one of them makes eye contact with Violet, who's hiding behind the bushes. One of the guy rider turns to Zaden and says, "You are an absolute fool if you think that you will ever convince a Sorrengail to risk their lives for anything or anyone outside their borders. However, interesting thought. How much would your king pay in order to get the daughter of General Sorrengail back from a squad of evil Griffin riders? I'm willing to bet the ransom will be enough weaponry to defend all of Draithius for a decade." All the squad finally perk up and stand protectively around Violet, but she's not scared. Tyrn growls and she says, "I fucking dare you." And she unleashes just enough power to let thunder crack and rumble. "If you even step towards her, you're dead. We're done here." The Griffin riders take off and Violet looks like she's just been thrown into a whirlwind. She's so fucking confused, but everyone else is backing up from away from her but Zaden. They're telling Zaden, "Good luck." And it hits Violet. All of them have the rebel relic. All of them are rebel kids. They're all traitors. Tyrn? Yes, Silver One. They're all rebel kids. Everyone except me. Yes. Yes, they are. And it hits Violet. She fell for Zaden, she fell for him, and they're all fucking traitors. That means you and Andarna lied to me too. You both knew what he was doing, didn't you? We chose you. But you knew and you didn't tell me. Dragons are bound by different bonds. It's the only one stronger than that of a dragon and its rider is between two dragons. Meaning Tyrn and Sigel's bond is stronger. Zaden tries to talk to Violet about everything, but she's not having it. She's got hot, angry tears streaming down her face. "Liam, were we ever even friends, huh? Was anything ever real?" "We are, Violet. You're my friend. But I owe Zaden my whole life, and we all do, and I'm sorry. But if you just let him explain what's going on." "You watched him train with me. You watched me fall for him." "Violence, please, I can explain." Lightning strikes, not nearby, but the skies light up, and it's a warning. "If you get near me right now, I swear I'll fucking kill you, Zaden." Zaden tells everybody else to leave and give them some privacy, and he's trying to talk to Violet softly. "You think I'm betraying Navarre. You're working with the Griffin riders. I think you're a fucking villain. Such a cliche." "They're Griffin flyers, not riders, and I'm not a villain to you. To some people I might be, but I know I'm not a villain to you." "You're committing treason. You're working with our enemy. What the fuck are you saying right now?" "Please, Violet. Listen, did you ever stop to think, what if we all start on the right side of the war, but you finish on the wrong side?" "You've got to be kidding me. I trained to be a scribe under my father my whole life, one of the greatest scribes there ever was. I know that we've only defended our borders for 600 years. What is there to be wrong about that? We are protecting our people. Meanwhile, what are you giving them?" "Weapons." "That they use to kill dragon riders?" "No, weapons to fight Venin. That's all they can kill. They don't kill dragons, they kill Venin." "Venin is a fairy tale, Zaden." But even when she says it, she doesn't even believe it. There's this nagging feeling, the letter that her dad wrote her. Folklore is passed from one generation to the next to teach us about our past. No, they're real, Violet. I'm so sorry. Venin, people who can tap into a dark source of magic without griffins or dragons as channels, that they can get so much magic that they corrupt themselves in the world, they exist? Yes, they are draining all the magic out of the barrens right now. I'm sorry, this is not the way that I was going to tell you. Oh yeah? You were going to tell me? When, huh? Tyrn, what about you, huh? When were you going to tell me? I want you to come to your own conclusion, Silver One. I chose you for your intelligence and courage. Do not let me down. Violet's doing the math in her head. Let's say Venin is real. That means they never attack inside of Navarre because being the protection wards are put in place that any magic that is not conjured through a dragon is impossible. So the way that Navarre is protected is that any magic that's not through a dragon no longer works inside of Navarre. She says it out loud and Zaden nods. Venin are powerless the second that they cross into our kingdom, which means Promiel, the kingdom that we are at war with, is likely relentlessly being violently attacked by Venin because they don't have protection wards like we do. They don't have dragons to protect them. They're being attacked by Venin and we don't realize what's going on. Zaden looks at her. Or we do. But we choose not to help. No, why would Navarre choose not to help? That's not who we are as people. That's not who we are as a kingdom. Because the only thing that can kill Venin is the exact thing that's powering our wards. If we give them what they need to fight Venin, our wards get weaker. That's what the Griffin raids are for. They're looking for the thing that powers our wards. Zaden hands her a black dagger. You stole from my mother? No, your mother likely has a similar one. It's the only thing that kills Venin. Which means her mom knew all along about Venin.
What is it? What's a black dagger?
It's like a stone.
Oh.
Like a magical, I guess it's like made out of something magical that powers their wards, but it is also used to kill Venin. So if they keep giving it away, it's like a limited resource, I imagine.
Oh,
I imagine.
It's like some kind of natural resources?
Yeah, or it's like a magical resource that I think you can't just like keep making.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could have told me, but you lied. You hid this from me. I'm sorry, but I couldn't tell you in case your best friend sees your memory, then everything we've done will be lost. Everything we have all ever. What? Dane? He would never. He won't even break a rule to save you, Violet. What do you think he would do if he knew what was happening? Do you think that he would break the rules to protect you? To protect us? At least you could have tried trusting me to block him out. This is bigger than us, Violence. Leadership will stop at nothing to sit behind their wards and keep everyone in Navarre oblivious to the existence of Venin. My father was killed trying to help. I can't risk what's happening because of me. You love me and... No, I loved you. No, you love me. You love me, Violet. Everything I once felt for you, Zaden, was based on deception. No, everything between us is real, and I can explain everything you need me to if you still want to come with us to the outpost. Violet thinks long and hard. I'm coming with you. I believe you. But that doesn't mean I trust you. On the rest of the flight to the outpost, Tiernan and Darna apologized for lying by omission to Violet, but they knew that she would make the right choice. This is what's happening. It's real, all of it. No wonder her dad used to tell her. One of his favorite sayings was, all it takes is one desperate generation to change or erase history. All of it. That's why scribes are important. They must remember. They must never forget. When they land in Abathine, the whole outpost is empty, not a singular rider, which is weird because this is basically a military base and there's no riders there. They've been set up. They clear the whole outpost and they see one singular letter left behind. It reads, and it's clearly Dane's dad. Violet recognizes that handwriting from anywhere. War Games for Zaden Ryerson, wing leader of the 4th Wing. The mission is to survive if you can. Zaden looks up and everybody knows. We've been sent here to die. But how? How would they know? That means that they know that these rebel kids know about Venin and that they're plotting and helping Griffin riders, but how? Zaden turns to Violet. What did Dane say to you before we left? He said that he would miss me and that you were going to get me killed, but he always says that. Did he touch you? Did he touch your face? Did he caress your cheek like this? Zaden reaches up and cups her cheek. Yes, but that's how he always touches me. He would never. I would know if he read my mind. You wouldn't know, Violence. You wouldn't know. Trust me. Zaden doesn't look mad. He looks compassionate and just filled with resignation. Dane would never violate me like that. He would. But as she's saying it, she remembers when Amber was getting executed, he did try without her consent to get her memories. And now they're going to test everyone out here to see if they're going to survive or not. Liam looks out from the outpost and he sees 4 people in purple robes and giant staffs walking towards the civilian town. Their eyeballs are all red and the veins, the eye veins, they're prominent and they're spreading across their face from their eyes and they're all red. Violet remembers that the stories her dad used to tell her. It's because their magic corrupts their blood. So they slowly lose their souls and they turn into nothing but a vessel for evil and destruction. There are 4 Venins headed straight towards the civilian town. But if the fables are true, that means they must also have wyverns, no? Man-made dragons? Usually dragons are naturally born. They bond with humans and they help transfer some of their powers to the human riders. But wyverns are powered by Venin. They're basically dragon robots of evil. And at that moment, Griffin riders, the same ones from earlier, arrive. They have 300 civilians and the Venin are going to kill every single one of them unless the riders, the cadets, they do something. Zaden turns to everyone. Some of us will die tonight. It is impossible for us to not lose a single person. None of you have chosen to become writers. All of them are rebel kids, and Violet didn't choose either. None of you. Now, I'm giving you a chance right now. A choice. Go back to school and make your choice. Violet looks down. If they leave, every civilian is going to die. And she knows that if they do fight, they'll probably die with the civilians. Imogen speaks up. We're writers. Stop me. When I was reading this, I literally heard Vin Diesel go, so let's ride. I was like, I couldn't get it out of my mind. And I just kept seeing Vin Diesel's bald ass head. Let's ride. And I was like, fuck. And it was just killing the moment. It was killing the vibe, okay?
Wait, so there's only 4 Venoms. They're scared?
2 Venin can take out a whole town and a whole squad of military riders.
What?
They're so powerful.
Just like visually, it just looks like 4 people.
Yeah, but they're that powerful.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like...
And they're walking.
Yeah. They're like basically levitating. They can even make the ground poisonous. So if you touch the ground, you're dead. They're crazy. They're crazy. Another one is like, we're riders. We defend. We ride. That's what we do. Body speaks up. You've saved every single one of us here. Now we need to do... now we need to do what we're trained for. Let's ride.
Did they say that?
No. Oh. I don't know. It's just I kept hearing it in my head and I couldn't take this scene seriously. Besides, I wouldn't mind seeing my mom sooner rather than later. His mom is dead, by the way. Okay? Garrick speaks up. I'm with you. We get to decide how we die. Me too, I'm in. Liam steps forward. We watched as our parents were executed because they had the courage to do the right thing. I would like to think that my death would be just as honorable. Violet realizes that all their parents died trying to expose the truth. Meanwhile, Brennan, her brother, was sacrificed to keep the truth from coming out by their mother, her own kingdom. Everyone agrees one by one until it's just Violet left. And the words are ringing in her head. That Griffin rider, you'll never convince a Sorrengail to risk their neck for anyone outside of Navarre. Yeah, well, fuck that guy. Tyrn, we will feast on their bones, Silver One. I'm a rider now. And riders fight. And I was like, riders ride. let's ride. Bro, Vin Diesel was here. He cooked, he stayed, and his leftovers were stinking up the kitchen. I'm telling you. Everyone shouts, and Zaden almost wants Violet to back out because that way she's going to survive, but he can't stop her from doing the right thing. This is the right choice, and she made it, and it's conflicting. And on one hand, he's in awe of her. On the other hand, he's scared for her life, right? Anyway, the games begin, the war begins, and it's not games, it's real. Now, it's a mission. Save as many people as you can. Violet instructs Andarna to stay away from the outpost, and they all gear up to fight. There's only one way to kill the Venin people, which is with the special dagger. They cannot die from dragon flames. They cannot be incinerated. You have to get up close and personal, hand-to-hand combat, and you have to kill them with the thing. They're gearing up. They're hearing screeching noises in the distance. Are riders coming to back us up? They look up. It's not dragons. Wyverns. Blue, fire-breathing. They look like weird dragons. Man-made dragons made by the Venin.
What does that even mean? What does that look like? What do they look like?
They look like dragons, but something is off about them. Like, they don't look like they have souls. They look almost robotic.
Oh.
Man-made dragons, and they have blue flames.
Okay.
Now, they're headed straight for them. A whole squad.
Oh.
Yeah, Imogen smirks. Fuck them. They can die too. Violet talks to Tyrn. Did you know? I had my suspicions, which is why I've been cutthroat during our flight maneuver practices. Well, Tyrn, let's work on our open communication, shall we? Zaden turns to the group. Anyone change their minds? No? Then mount up. Zaden gives Violet another dagger that can kill Venin, and she stops him. General Malgren will know what's happened here. He can see the outcomes of battles, remember? Not this one. The relics are a curse, but also a gift. Violet pieces it together. That's why they're not allowed to meet in groups of 3 or more, because somehow the magic to create the markings, it's a blind spot for Malgren. He can't see any outcome of any battles that involve 3 or more rebel kids. Wait, I need you to survive, Zaden. I hate that I still love you. I can live with that. And with that, all hell breaks loose. Dragons fighting Wyvern, the Venin trying to kill all the riders and the civilians. They want to burn the whole place down and they're looking for something, whatever it may be. Violet is on Tyrn and Darna is hiding in the outpost. Everybody's trying their best. The Griffin riders are fighting hard too. Everybody has a task. Either fight or get the civilians out as quickly as possible. Violet tries multiple times to strike lightning to kill a Venin, but it's hard. She hasn't practiced aiming enough, and every time she unleashes her powers, she feels herself draining. She needs to rest before putting in energy. She doesn't even really have a choice now, though, does she? Originally, the thought was if they kill the wyvern, they kill the venin. Because dragons, if you kill the dragon, you kill the rider, right? But they realize that's not happening. They're killing wyvern. So the wyvern, you don't have to use the dagger. Like a dragon can rip up a wyvern, right?
Yeah.
They need to kill the venin, which is very fucking hard to do, okay? There's 4 of them, and they're moving at superhuman speeds, and dragon fire does nothing to them, and everybody is distracted trying to fight off the wyvern, and oh fuck, Liam is thrown from his dragon and lands on Tyrn. Well, barely. Violet is using all of her strength to pull him up. Tyrn can't stop. They have to keep flying at high speeds because there's 2 wyvern on their backs. But when they look down, they see D, Liam's dragon, basically being disemboweled by a wyvern.
Oh.
Tyrn, hurry, do something! They're zipping through the air to get to D, and Tyrn is ripping apart the wyvern's wings that's trying to kill D. But there's no self-preservation here because they're not normal creatures. They were created by Venin for destruction. Even if Tyrn is eviscerating this wyvern, it's got his claws dug into D and will not let go. They're not going to let go until the mission is complete. Violet, help D, please. I know, Liam. I know. It's going to be okay. Violet tries to use her power to strike the wyvern, but D is too close. She's going to accidentally strike them both, okay? She's not that good at aiming yet. And Violet can hear Tyrn's grief ring through her. He's gone. D is gone. Which means... And they land on the ground. The wyvern is dead, and D is laying there. Liam's voice is getting weaker. Please let me be with D. Violet tries to drag his weak body to D, but she can't. Her legs are giving out, and he's too heavy. She can't get him to D. Zaden arrives and quietly carries Liam to D and rests him in D's arms. It's not fair. Liam is the strongest in their class. He's one of the sweetest. Not after everything that he's been through. It's not fair. Liam makes Violet promise to take care of his sister next year when she gets to the riding quadrant. Violet promises, and she gives Zaden and Liam a moment alone.
Wait, they have time for all this in the middle of a war?
Yeah. She sees a dozen more wyvern heading their way, though. And then she feels it. A soul-rendering scream filling her head with so much force, it feels like it's shattering her heart.
What?
Zaden. Because Liam is gone now. And Violet sees red. Tyrn, let's go hunting. And as they're flying off, Zaden tells her, Liam told me to tell you that there are 2 riders in the new horde. He saw them with his farsight. Wait, why would he want you to tell me that? Because he knows I can hold off the wyvern, the fake dragons, as long as possible. I can shred everything into darkness, turn this place into a pitch black hole. We have the advantage. We know our land. We know where we are. We know our dragons. And you? I'm the only one that can kill them all. Violet goes into full-blown battle mode. She's fighting a Venin that's climbed onto Tyrn's back. She gets stabbed in the process, but ends up killing the Venom, and that's when they discover their theory was right. When they kill one Venin, all the Venin drop, or all the wyvern, and even other Venins drop dead. So it's like, okay, imagine one Venin, one very powerful person. It's like a pyramid scheme. They got other Venin underneath them, and then they've got wyvern underneath them. You kill the top, you kill them all.
But there's 4 venoms.
Yes, but they've killed like a few now.
Oh, so there's more than 4 venoms.
Yeah, there's a
lot
lot
of venom.
And then they need to go for the head Venin,
How
and
do
they
they
can
know which
knock them
one's
all
head?
out. She's telling Tyrn, you gotta spot out the head.
There's a leader, basically.
Yeah, there's always a leader, and you can tell who the leader is. Because, people look at them, and they're getting orders from that leader, right? So they're looking, and I mean, everything's going to shit. Some of the Griffin riders are dying, and they're sacrificing themselves for the civilians, and she realizes, oh my god, the Griffin riders are good people. But right now, there is a Venin trying to kill Zaden. Violet needs to think fast. She touches her side. There's thick black blood coming out, which is not good. It's probably poison. She's gonna die soon. Whatever she got stabbed with is not looking good. And her arms, they're shaking. She can no longer hold the weight of her power. Enough, Silver One. Do not burn out on me. You are hurt. I'm fine, Tyrn. But Zaden's not about to be. The Venin is heading straight for him. Sorrengail is trying to breathe fire, bite the fucker, but he's too powerful. He's just walking like nothing is affecting him. To him, Sorrengail is like Tiger.
Wait, the venom is so strong?
Yeah.
Just walking in the flame?
Yeah.
What?
Andarna appears. Let me help. I'm sorry, Andarna. I will only take what I need. And they all agree. Andarna stops time just in time before the venom kills Zaden. And Violet uses every last piece of strength she has, and she can feel it burning through her body. It's about to take her out. The adrenaline, the power, the sadness, the grief. And she unleashes it all down, killing the venom. And all of them drop dead. The venom and the wyverns, all of them. And when time begins again, when she knows that Zaden will live, she slips from Tyrn's back and falls. She starts falling. and she's gonna die. Until time stops again. And Darna uses every last bit of power she has and catches Violet mid-fall, and they slam onto the ground. And now Zaden is rushing towards her. He's desperate. Just live. Please just live. I will take care of you. And they're all staring at her, the rest of the crew that's left, the ones from school. I think she's been poisoned. When the venom attacked her, look, it's magic. It's black blood. We have to get her back to Basquiat. Nolan can help her. He has to try to do something. He has to mend her. That's a 12-hour flight. Violet is silent. She can't feel anything. Everything is blurry, but she knows 12 hours is a death sentence. She's going to die. She can't even fly. Her arm is broken. We have to take her closer. We have to take her there. You can't be fucking serious right now. That's going to put everything at risk. It doesn't matter if she dies. Zaden will die too. It's the only chance that we have. I didn't say that we can't, Imogen. I'm just saying it's a risk. We're going to, and that's an order. It's okay. No need for orders. We're going to do what we can to save her. Violence. Live up to your nickname. Survive this. Fight this. And everything fades into darkness. That night, as she's about to pass out, she hears a familiar voice, and she can't really place it. Zaden? Please, you have to save her. The last chapter of the book ends with Zaden being an utter mess because Violet is out. He has spent 5 days sitting in his old childhood bedroom, putting his head up to Violet's chest to verify she's still breathing. Because if she dies, Zaden will die, and not because their dragons will die, but because he literally cannot imagine living without her. He has so many regrets. He should have told her about the venom. He should have told her everything. He should have told her that he loved her over and over while he had the chance. And then when she finally wakes up, Violet? She's smiling. She has no idea where she is, okay? Until she does, and then she's fucking confused. How much do you remember, Violet? She's sitting there. Wait, what? Don't panic. And Darna is fine, Tierna is fine, everything is fine. The healer told me that he's not sure what lasting effects the poison might have. It's nothing we've seen before, and no one knows how long it's going to take to get your memory back. Where are we? And don't you dare lie to me again. Again? You remember? I remember. Oh, thank God. But Zaden doesn't need to explain, okay? Violet already knows. She can tell that they're in Aridia, the former city that the rebels ran. But it was burned to the ground, no? Rebuilt or never burned? In the process of rebuilding. Why haven't I read about this? Because Malgren can't see the outcome. He can't see what's going on when more than 3 of you are together. And that's why you're not allowed to assemble. Zaden can't help but smile because Violet is brilliant. You can ask whatever you want. Is Liam dead? Oh my God, it's all my fault. Liam is dead and it's my fault. No, it's not. It's my fault. Later, Violet tells him that she's willing to fight with him, but she doesn't trust him anymore, and she can't be with someone that she can't trust. And he's like, I never lied to you, Violet. And she's like, but you kept things from me, okay?
Wait. I'm so sorry. So they flew Violet to their hometown, which is much closer?
Yeah, and it's all hidden. It's outside the wards, it seems.
Oh, so they didn't want to take her to their hometown.
Because if she ever goes back and gets interrogated or Dane touches her fucking cheek again, it's all over for them. Like, everything is over, right? And Zaden looks at her, and he looks beyond her, and he can see it, the love that she still has for him. This is the only love he's ever felt since his parents died, and he's not going to lose the only woman he's ever loved without a fight. And he promises he's going to gain her trust back no matter what because he loves her. And then there's a pounding on the door. Zaden is talking through the pounding. He's like, I am going to fix this. I'm going to make you love me again. And like, she kind of softens up, you know what I mean? Because anyway, and he's like, fuck, he's so impatient. You have about 20 seconds to ask him a question if I know him correctly. Well, if you, what? The door slams open. Hello, little sister.
I knew it!
Zaden looks over at Violet and her mouth is hanging open. Brennan, her supposedly dead brother, smiles. Welcome to the revolution, Violet. And that is the end of Fourth Wing.
Oh my God.
Okay, guys, please let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on Iron Flame, because I heard really mixed reviews on Iron Flame. There was one TikTok I saw that was like, Fourth Wing got me back into reading. Iron Flame got me back into a reading slump. So please let me know. Because I know the 3rd book is coming out, and I don't know if I should wait, because I get really anxious. I don't know if I should wait to read Iron Flame when the 3rd one comes out so that I can have it ready, so that I can get some closure. Does it leave off on a cliffhanger? Please let me know in the comments. And I hope you guys enjoyed Fourth Wing. This was my dragon, and I will see you guys in the next one.